Hello. Welcome to Shiksha DaCosta. Today we're going to start a new unit on solving quadratic equations. In this unit, here are some things we'll learn to do. We'll learn to expand and simplify quadratics. We'll learn to solve quadratic equations. And we'll learn about something called the roots of a quadratic, and we will relate those to the graph of a quadratic. Specifically, here are a bunch of things that we will do. So we'll pose problems that involve quadratics that come up from the real world. We'll look at tables and graphs and use those to solve those problems. We'll take a quadratic expression that has only one variable in it, like x. We'll represent a situation using that equation, and we'll expand and simplify it as long as it only has one variable. We'll also start to factor quadratics by choosing the best strategy, and then we'll solve those by applying a factoring strategy. We'll also determine using an investigation, what is the connection between the factors in a quadratic and the x-intercept? So where does the graph cross the x-axis? Finally, we'll explore the development of something called the quadratic formula, and we'll apply that formula to solve equations using all sorts of technology. We'll relate the real roots of a quadratic to the x-intercept of the graph, and we'll determine what the real roots are of all sorts of different quadratic equations. To get started with this unit very quickly, I'm just going to ask you this quick question here. Is this fair? If you were going to a pizza place and you saw that a 5-inch pizza was $4, a 10-inch pizza was $15, and a 15-inch was $35, would you say that's fair? You can pause the video here and think about this for a minute. Once you have your answer, just click play. Well, some people might say, this doesn't really seem fair. Look, the 5-inch to 10-inch, that's only twice the size, but the price, 4 times 2 would get me 8. $15 is almost 4 times the price. And if I go from 10 to 15-inch, well, that's 1.5 times as big, but the price does not get 1.5 times. It gets more than doubled, right? 15 times 2 will get me 30, and this is 35. So these prices do seem to be out of whack. But when you start to look at the actual pizza, a 5-inch radius pizza might look something like this. Its area would be 78 square inches. A 10-inch pizza would look something like this. Now, doesn't this look a whole lot bigger than this? More than just 2 times? In fact, the area of this pizza would be about 314 square inches, and the area of a 15-inch pizza would be about 707 square inches. Look how much bigger that is even compared to this. If we divide these two numbers, we'll find out that the area got multiplied by about 4, which is much more in line with our price increase than it was with our size increase from just the radius of the pizza. And as we go from a 10-inch pizza to a 15-inch pizza, the area gets multiplied by 2.25 approximately, which is much more than just 1.5, which we thought it would be. These price increases are much more in line with the actual size increases of the pizza when we consider the area of the pizza that we're going to get. And this sort of relationship that is not increasing in a linear way, it's like just an extra 5 inches, just an extra 5 inches, but the price gets multiplied or gets bigger and bigger. The difference is here, I think it's $11, and from here to here, it's $20. So it's going up faster and faster in price, even though the radius is increasing by the same amount. This sort of relationship is not what we would call a linear relationship. Linear relationships are really, really easy to figure out. If it's double the size, just double the price. But not everything in real life is related in a linear fashion, just like we just saw. Sometimes when one quantity increases, like the radius of that pizza, the other quantity increases by a larger and larger amount. And one of these types of relationships is called a quadratic relation. And we are going to study these in this unit. Working with quadratics requires some really serious algebra skills, so just make sure you're buckling down and ready to practice those skills throughout this unit. If you like this video, please like, rate, subscribe, and join our mailing list. And you can find this lesson as well as practice questions, solutions, handouts, and more on our storefront. Thanks and have a great day.